Hey there everybody, Stuart Knight with a video that I hope will help you boycott what you thought and ideally help you lead you to the life that you want to have. So, I want to tell you about something that happened recently, okay? It's about the Raptors, and yes, they won the championship, which all of us in Toronto and all of us in Canada, quite frankly, are quite excited about. But for those of you who are not in Toronto or in Canada that are watching this right now, just know, it's like your local team, your local sports club, whatever it might be, winning the championship. So if that would be exciting to you, it was definitely exciting to us. And so exciting for me that I wanted to be at the NBA final. I wanted to be a part of history. I wanted to be there when they won that big game. And so for that reason, I spent a crap load of money on 3 tickets to go to what I thought was going to be the last game. That was Game 5. And if they won that game in Toronto, we would have won the entire championship that night. And the idea of being there was so exciting to me. The idea of the way that would be with the fans and the excitement in the room was just so much that I couldn't say no to these tickets, even though they were very expensive. Now, I'm going to tell you the price of these tickets only because it's relevant to the story. There's no other reason why I'm telling you this, otherwise I wouldn't tell you. So, I spent $2,000 per ticket, okay? 3 tickets, that was $6,000. Yes, that is more than I would normally pay for these kinds of things, and it is outside of my comfort zone, and it made me feel like a little bit of a puke coming on, right? But I kept thinking to myself, but what if they win at that? What if they actually win? That to me is the easiest investment that I will have ever made, because if they win, I get to be a part of this excitement and it's a game that I love. Wow, I will never look back and worry about the money that I spent. So the way it was working though was my big plan was to take my best friend and my brother. And so my brother was going to be his birthday present, and my best friend last minute said, I'm in, I'm going to buy my own tickets. So okay, I didn't have to pay the whole $6,000, woohoo! So we go to the game. We watched the game, and if anyone watched Game 5, you know that it came down to the last 15 seconds, where I guarantee you we were all standing there and we were all leaning forward, and everybody in the stadium was like, we are about to see them score this shot and hit this shot, and they are going to win the NBA championships. And I was so pumped, and then all of a sudden they took a really shitty shot, a stupid shot, and then they hit the side of the basket, and everyone went, wah, wah. And in that moment, I realized that my big idea didn't happen and my big dream didn't come true. And it sucked. It totally sucked in that moment. At least I thought it was a bad thing. But now they have won it and it was still a beautiful thing. But you see, what guys like me like to do is that we like to be able to tell stories where it's like, hey, I went out there and I took a risk and I bought this expensive ticket, and then I went to the game and then they won, and this is the party, and that's what you got to do in life. You got to take risks, because if you don't take risks, amazing things like that are never going to happen. But it didn't happen. So was it worth it or was it not worth it? Well, here's what I do know. I do know that it was the best sporting experience I've ever had in my life. I do know that it was a memory that I now share with my brother and with my friend that only the 3 of us will ever be able to relate to, and will always be able to talk about it for the rest of our lives. I also know that I got to be part of history on some small level. It took them 6 games to get there, and I can always look back at that series and remember that I was there for Game 5. I even have a t-shirt that says Game 5 on it. So when I lose my mind and I still don't have a great memory anymore, I'll be able to look at these t-shirts and go, oh yes, I remember. I was there one time. That was me, that little child. So that's the way I plan on talking when I'm older, okay? So if you don't plan on doing that, what's the sense of living, if you ask me? This is the point. The point is that you can't possibly give yourself these experiences if you aren't willing to take some sort of risk, if you aren't willing to spend a little bit of money, if you aren't willing to throw yourself into the deep end from time to time. Yes, you know what? I could have, not bought those tickets, but that would have been the one way of guaranteeing that I would not have been at the NBA championships. Could you imagine if they won and I didn't buy the tickets? In fact, you want to know what's even more interesting? You might think I'm an idiot when I tell you this, but it turns out that just before that game, I could have sold the tickets for $30,000. I would have made about $25,000 in profit, and I wouldn't have gone to the game. But what if they won the game? I would have missed that opportunity. And the one way to make sure that you miss an opportunity is to, in this case, not buy the tickets at all. So if you don't go on that trip, or if you don't leave that job, or if you don't leave that relationship, or if you don't walk up to that person and ask them out on a date, or if you don't take some sort of big risk in life, well, then that's one way you can guarantee that the result is not going to happen. But for me, when you do take the risk, you might not get the result that you wanted to have happen, but there's always a result. There's always something that happens, and it's always amazing when you take those kinds of risks. So just think about that this week. You know what? You make money to die with a bunch of money in the bank, or do you make money to live? Now, yes, you have to make good investments, and I'm not just suggesting you just blow your cash all the time, but spend your money. All right, for life experiences, and take a risk, move to a new country, do whatever the hell you gotta do. You know what it is for you, I know you know. So do that thing, all right? Anyway, so this was my story for you this week. Yeah, you know what? Sometimes it doesn't always work out the way you plan, and yeah, you know what? It hit the pocketbook, but there's not one regret. I know that I'll have that story with my friends and my brother for the rest of my life, and I know that it's really just about the idea of flexing that muscle. And the more you do it, the more comfortable you get with just taking these kinds of risks. And so it wasn't that scary to take this risk, only because of other risks I've had to take in the past. So you'll get used to it. Just start it. And even though it feels uncomfortable, maybe spending a little of extra money, or maybe it feels uncomfortable having difficult conversations, or it feels uncomfortable, I don't know, walking up and saying hello to somebody in the bar. But the more you do it, the more these risks just become normal for you. Okay? So throw yourself out there. All right? Just don't die in the process. Lots of love. Bye-bye. Thanks for watching that video, my friend. I would love to have these videos land right in your inbox. If you want to get that, just sign up right here. If you do, you're going to get a free gift, exclusive content, and you'll be the first to learn about amazing things that we have coming up.